I just really hope that nothing I'm about to put on my face is like moldy or smells like crayons because bleh. Hey all, it's Linda. Welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I had an idea where I want to take discontinued products, okay? Products that are in my collection that unfortunately you can no longer get, but I want to try to kind of recreate that same look, that same vibe with stuff that you can still buy that is also in my collection. So I feel like it's going to be a bit of a creativity thing for me where I see if I can replicate it. Now, I don't expect any of these things to match exactly, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a look on one half of my face with all discontinued products. The other half is going to be all stuff that you can still grab. Real quick, I do want to address what I feel is the elephant in the room that you might not care about. I did get Invisalign. I am still getting used to it, so please bear with me. I don't think I'm lisping too badly or anything like that, but I am very aware that there are things in my mouth at the moment. I've had a lot of people say to me, I wouldn't have even noticed if you hadn't said anything, etc., but considering that it is something that I notice, I do ask you to be gentle, and maybe if you have any need to comment about them, you can just get out. So there are certain items that I don't have a discontinued version in my collection. So in that case, I will be applying the same thing to both sides of my face. Like for example, I don't have any eyebrow products that have been discontinued. So I'm just going to use one eyebrow product, on both sides of my face. But let's go ahead and start with foundation. So the foundation I'm going to be using on this side of my face, which is the discontinued side, is the Natasha Denona Face Glow Foundation. I still love this. You can see how little is left. This is still my favorite foundation I've ever used, and I'm very sad I can't get any more of it. But I do really want to make an effort to be able to try to replicate the feel that this one gives me. So I mixed two colors. I mixed 10 and 40. I'm just going to put a little bit onto this palette. Ooh, I should probably use less than that considering I'm only doing half my face. So I'm putting equal amounts of each color. Now I've mainly been using brushes lately to apply foundation, but I really want to use my beauty blender. So I'm just dipping that in, and you'll be able to see the kind of coverage this gives. Like that's the kind of thing I'm trying to replicate, is maybe the finish of it or the coverage. The color probably won't be exact, but just like the vibes. I want the vibes to be there. So you can probably see the way I apply this, it gives a light coverage and you can still see my freckles through, but the glow is really what gets me about this. This is a really like emollient foundation and it's very comfortable to wear. I just really enjoy it. So for this side of my face, I'm going to be mixing two colors of the Urban Decay Hydromaniac. Now this is called a Tinted Glow Hydrator, but I do still use this as a foundation in general. Oh, I'm getting real low on this tube. Forgive me if I just said this, but I am mixing the colors 30 and 40. And I'm going to mix these on my palette, but I am going to add a little something else to get that glow. So the the Hydromaniac still has a glow to it, but I want extra glow. So I'm going to add the teeniest amount of my Auric Glow Lust. This is just a beautiful, beautiful, like glowy product that I think will help to recreate the glow that the Natasha Denona gives. Just mixing the end of it with the brush, and this side is definitely going to be a little bit deeper, but it's okay. Here's something I find very interesting. So the Natasha Denona, they call themselves a foundation, okay? The Urban Decay is a Tinted Glow Hydrator, but I applied way less of the Urban Decay on this side, and I feel like it's giving more coverage. And that's not a bad thing. It is still light to like light medium coverage, but I have so much left on my palette where I used all of this, but I do kind of feel like the glow is giving, and the color isn't too off. That's not bad, actually. I'm actually kind of impressed with that. The glow is the same. I'm just blending my jaw in general. But again, so this is the Natasha Denona side. This is the Urban Decay side. Not bad. Now for concealer, I do not have any discontinued concealers, so I'm just going to be applying my Sigma Spectrum Color Correcting Duo. I can't believe I got the name right. That on both sides. And what I like to do is I just mix them. I'm in color light medium and I mix between both sides and just kind of pounce that under the eyes. Look at the difference that made in just like brightening things up. This is such an amazing product. Oh my God, this is my favorite Sigma product, hands down. And I am kind of bringing my concealer up to drag the eyes up, if you will. Now, I also do not have any discontinued powders, so I am going into my Kosas Cloud Set. And this is kind of discontinued in a way because I think they changed the formula a little bit, but I'm just using this in general because I don't like using a lot of powder. So I just want this to set certain areas that I know will move around a lot, but I don't want to touch the glow on either side because I love it. This is the last face product where I also don't have a dupe for. I don't have a bronzer that has been discontinued. So I'm going to be using the Sigma bronzer. The color is light. This is a matte bronzer. I'm using my BK Beauty Nikki LaRose N15 to apply this. And a little bit of this goes such a long way. So I really like to tap that out. So that was one dip into the pan, just so you know, and then like really tapping it out. This is such a good quality bronzer and it goes such a long way. All right, let's move into blush. If you know me, you know I am a cream blush girly. So on the discontinued side, I am going to be, this is a little bit out of my comfort zone. I am going to be going into Spritz by Finding Ferdinand. This is the collection they came out with, Khaki. This is from the Summer Abroad collection. And it is just a beautiful, beautiful, bright peachy pink. I probably took way too much on here, but we're going to run with it. I'm dotting it off actually on that same palette that I had just to get a little bit of it off. I'm going to start small and build up. This is another one of those colors where a little bit goes a very long way. I actually am going to pounce some of that out with the clean side of my Beauty Blender and just kind of keep building it up where I want to. Oh, so pretty though. It is such like a good spring summer flush color. Now, this is not exactly the same, even though this is stained. I did take all the product off so you can see there's nothing on my hand. I'm going to be using the Kaja Dewy Bar in Peach Cobbler. So again, they're not the same exact color, but they do both have those peachy pink undertones. They are both a cream blush. And I'm going to take that. Ooh, again, I took a little too much. I'm going to apply that. I'm being a little generous with the blush today because I want those rosy cheeks. I feel like you can't tell the difference that much actually when it's on the face. Both of these also keep the glow, as you can see, which is what I look for with a cream blush. Oh, that's so pretty. I'm actually going to go back in with a touch more of the Finding Ferdinand. Oh, we are glowy with the blush today. We have a lot of blush on. But why do I kind of love it? I never do this, and I love it when people really go all out with the blush, so I think it's cute. For my highlighter, for the discontinued side, there are so many divisive opinions on this, but I have always loved this. It is the Anastasia Amrezy highlighter. So this is a beautiful, beautiful, very finely milled gold highlighter, okay? So pretty. It's like a champagne gold, but it's quite reflective. I'm tapping off the excess. And so you can see this is not a subtle highlighter. Okay, there is definite, oh, that's so pretty though. That is so pretty. Gosh, I know so many people that disliked this. I love this. Like, I can't see extra texture or anything like that. It's just gorgeous. So I'm taking off the excess. And on this side, I'm going to go in with the Sigma highlighter in Savannah. So again, we've got that same definite gold undertones, but here we also have like, there's a little bit more yellow, I guess, to it, but that is going to go on this side. So on the face, you can definitely see that this one, oh, but they're both blinding and gorgeous. You can definitely see that this one has more of a yellow tinge, whereas this one is more of like a white champagne. But I really do think that they're close enough where if the Amrezy one is something that you wanted, this is like a pretty damn close second. I am loving my skin right now. I am loving this. All right, for eyebrows, I am just going in and I'm doing a very quick eyebrow with my Kosas Air Brow. Again, I don't have any brow products that have been discontinued. I am pretty damn good at decluttering stuff, I will say. So I'm not mad that I don't have a lot of discontinued products, but damn, that's pretty. For the eyes, so I have a vision in mind that I'm hoping comes through, but guess what I'm going to use? the Melt Muerte palette. Okay, so here is my vision that I want to try. So first we have Calaca, which is, it does have a little bit of shimmer to it, but not much. But it is a very pale yellow, which is absolutely beautiful, okay? I want to use that. And then I want to use as a liner Noche Eterna, which is a very dark blue. It is absolutely beautiful. So I know that doesn't sound like much. I want to just have this, this up top. I'm trying to think, I feel like I need to have a color kind of in the crease a little bit, but maybe more like deep in the crease. You know what? I'm going to put Noche Eterna as like liner going into the crease. And I'm going to leave the lid blank for now. And for the other side, what I'm going to be using, now these palettes are not exactly the same, but this is the Wizard palette by Fantasy Cosmetica. So you see, we do have that pale yellow. We do have this dark blue that is very similar. And I might wind up putting one of the shimmers from this, probably that, on both lids. If I don't do that, I might want to go into the Lost Library singles and do that. But again, I'm not trying to necessarily say these palettes are dupes for each other. That's not the point. But it's more a matter of, if you look at, let's say, for example, you look at this palette and you're like, oh God. So for me, one of the biggest things that I felt like I didn't have was a dark matte navy blue. And now I also have one of those elsewhere in my collection, so I'm happy to have that. But anyway, I feel like what I'm trying to say is that you can dupe a lot of colors. If there are individual colors that pique your interest, you can probably dupe them. So I'm taking a very fluffy brush, and on this side, oh, wait a minute, first I'm gonna prime my lids. I'm gonna be using the same thing on both lids. This is just the Sigma eyeshadow base primer in Ignite. I previously was using Persuade, but that one definitely has more of a pink tone to it, whereas this one more closely matches my personal skin tone. So you see, it just kind of whited out the lid. Wow, look at that. What a difference that makes. But these are fantastic bases. I'm not going to apply like different bases because I want these to have the same vibe. But anyway, going back in with Calaca, and I'm going to be putting this in the crease over here. And like I said, this does have a little bit of a shimmer to it, but I don't think it stands out. Well, it's standing out a little bit on the lid, but it's not dramatic. It's not sparkly or metallic. It just has like a tiny bit of a satin shimmer. Now, as I say that, it's looking very shimmery. I'm going to clean off my brush though, and I'm going to go into, what's the name of this? Spellbook in the Fantasy Cosmetica palette. And I'm going to apply this to this side to see if we get kind of that similar color. Yeah, the color is almost spot on exactly the same. It's just that this one has a little bit of a shimmer to it and this one does not. Wow, that's kind of amazing how the color is exactly the same. I don't know if you can tell, but the base color is very similar. So now I'm going to take a pencil brush, or not a pencil brush, it's a little fluffier, and I'm going into Noche Eterna, and I'm going to start really small with this color. I can always build it up, but I want to start small. And I'm going to just put this right here in the crease. I'm going so light, it is not even funny. That's something else that's really nice about this color, is that it can be like sheared out, so it's not completely overwhelming. Wow. And I'm just keeping it there. Normally I would connect it, but I want to kind of leave the, actually, you know what I'm going to do? Even smaller amount. I'm going to take this and just wing it a tiny bit, the tiniest bit out, but I want to leave this area blank. Ooh, that's very pretty, very pretty. Okay, so I'm going to take a similar shaped brush. This one is, I'm sorry, this one was from Luxie. This is the 231 and this is the BK Beauty A502. And I'm dipping into Telepathy. And again, I'm going to start small, like really tapping off the excess. This color is not exactly the same, but again, we're not necessarily looking for a dupe here. And this is going right into the crease. And again, you can kind of like shear out this color. This one is a bit more like, I don't know if the phrase is like, I was going to say proper blue as opposed to navy, but it's still very pretty and very similar. I feel like you can tell, right? You can tell how similar these are, which is kind of really cool, except this one is definitely more of a blue. I'm going back in and touching this up just a tiny bit, whereas this one is more of a navy blue. I still like it. So next I'm going to take an angled brush and I'm dipping back into Noche Eterna. And this I'm going to use as a liner. First I'm going to stamp it. And then I'm also going to wing this out just a bit. I really like that. Wow. I don't even know if I feel the need to put anything on the lid. I was going to put like a sparkly shadow. I don't know if I need to do that. So I've cleaned off my brush and going back into Telepathy and doing the same thing on this eye. That is super pretty. Oh, that is super pretty. And you know what I'm going to do? I am going to take a little bit of Katrina from the Muerte palette. This is a sparkly dark blue, and I'm going to stamp that right over top of the outer of the wing and like the outer third, just to give it a tiny bit of a sparkle. And on this side, I'm going to go into Divination, which is similar, but this one's going to be a lot more sparkly, I think, but it's still so beautiful. So this is the look, and it's very simple, but I kind of really love it. Do I want to put something on the inner corner of each eye? I'm cheating just for a second. I'm dipping into the individual shadows from the Lost Library collection, and I am going to take, let's see, I feel like I want to take this color. Whoops, I don't want to dent it, which is called, oh, I caught it. This color is called Song. So this is a very silvery color, but it has like a touch of rainbow to it. And I kind of just want to pop that, oh, that's pretty, right in the inner corner, just to give a little bit of a sparkle. Okay, so I do not have any discontinued mascara, so I am just going to curl my lashes. And I've been actually really enjoying the Beyond mascara from City Beauty lately. So I'm going to apply that to both eyes. I'm not doing fake lashes today. Now for lips, this one was kind of difficult for me because the color that I wanted to use, the discontinued one, first of all, I didn't want to do two halves of lipstick, you know what I mean? But the color that I wanted to use really badly, I don't have a dupe for it at all. So I'm going to show you something that has a similar vibe to it, but they are beyond not dupes. First, I want to line my lips. I'm just using the ColourPop Lippy Pencil in another round, and I'm just doing a very light line. Now here's the gloss I wanted to use. This is the Finding Ferdinand Limoncello, okay? It is a beautifully gold, incredibly sparkly, incredibly wet looking gloss. It is so stunning, and I'm so sad you can't get this anymore. But one color that I really love that I feel like gives a similar vibe is this one by Unearthly called, I believe it's called Avery or Avery. Now this is pink, but it has a significant gold sparkle to it. It also, to be fair, has a significant green sparkle to it. So these are not dupes, but both of them are loaded with like sparkly glitter, but they don't feel gritty. So I'm going to apply both. I'm going to show you Limoncello. I'll put this one on the top lip. I'll put Avery on the bottom, and then we will smack them together. So this is Limoncello on the top. It's looking very white and milky right now, but it does not when you have it over top of the lipstick. Here is Avery. Again, this is pink, but I think you can see that both of them really have that glossy gold undertone, right? And then I'm going to combine them, and I'm going to add a little bit more liner. This is so funny to me. I do this every time where I will put on blush and then I will be like, wow, that's a lot of blush. And when I look at the finished look, I'm like, that's not nearly enough blush. So I'm going to go back in and add even more. That's a lot of blush. Oh no. And here is the finished look. Is it simple? Yes, it is. But the goal for this video is I want to show you that if there are products that you have been like craving that are discontinued, you can likely find things that give you that same feel, that give you that same vibe, and it might not be a dupe, okay? There are certain brands that make dupe palettes out there or dupe products these don't have to be dupes, okay? You can just figure out and find and like mix and match and create the same vibe, which I kind of think is a fun thing to do. Like, I kind of like taking something and going, okay, do I have something in my collection that can do this exact thing? Which kind of helps me on my low buy, if I'm being honest. And yes, I do, because I feel like these sides look very, very, very similar. So let me know what you think. Are there any discontinued products that you've been chasing? Tell me. There's no judgment here. I'm very curious, but if you liked this video, I would love if you give it a thumbs up. That really helps my channel. You can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Those are all Glitter Fallout. As always and forever, you are super freaking rock stars. I just had to look at my hand to make sure I was doing the right symbol. I am. And I love you with my whole heart. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.